Hey guys, Youngblood with you, and what I wanted to do in this video is actually just take you on a quick little tour of the truck stop. Now, if you haven't actually been out here yet, I'm not going to show you the footage of me flying all the way out here because in all reality it's about a 1 minute trip in quantum travel. But when you jump out, it's pretty cool. You got some big asteroids around. There's a little bit of atmospherics around. You can see the landing pads up on the screen right now. That big ball over the top that looks like a hollow viewer model of a planet. Normally it has a model of a big like R&R. It's a big logo there. What these stations are called is like the rest and relax. I'm sure there's going to be various lines of these throughout the verse. But this is one of the brands at least. So, and I forgot I had the video here of me playing around with the hammerhead. So there you go. There's the Gladius and the hammerhead size comparison as some bonus footage for you. Footage you didn't even know you were going to ask for. So the station itself acts like basically any of the other stations. You need to request landing. Once you do, you'll get approved and you're going to land. But you can see with this design, in one of the previous videos that they did, CIG did, was they kind of showed like the procedural generation of stations. And on those stations, it basically has several different component areas to where it's going to say, okay, maybe this station has 4 solar panels, maybe it's this long, maybe it has this many hangars on it. So you're going to see them all follow probably similar design scenarios like this one. But it's going to be like variations from one to one. They're not all going to be exactly the same. And on some of these, I'm sure you're going to end up spawning inside, or not spawning, landing inside the hangar. Some of them you're going to just be on landing pads, depending on the size of ship you're in and the availability of the actual hangars themselves. But pretty much anywhere you look around on this and you see a globe that seems out of place, it's really just missing texture. Like on the left-hand side there, I don't know if you saw the red balls, it said replace me. That's just texture that hasn't necessarily been applied yet. Straight ahead over there, you actually saw a couple blast doors right there. I think what's going to eventually happen is you can probably take your ship in there for repairs, or that may be an area where you can then use like a cart or something, or like a forklift to carry cargo in. I think there's going to be additional functionality to that. You come through, you end up having an air shield, you got the logo. As far as this is going to be an elevator that's going to take you up to the main level. Again, the collision on some of these is still a little bit weird when you're trying to get them to interact. I think I kind of struggle with finding it here and then actually getting to push it. If you couldn't figure it out, I actually got this footage last night, but it was too loud and mumbled to actually record it at that point. So the one that you're looking for is going to be lobby. Again, it's a really small button, so it's kind of hard to actually hit, so you got to be really careful to get to select the right one. These elevators are pretty slow, so you may be sitting there, you don't really hear anything when you're in them, so don't necessarily, once you finally get here, just have patience, it's probably moving. These elevators have killed me too, so it's a possibility that that happens to you. But once you get up to the top, you're basically going to be in an area that has a bunch of different elevators that are present to take you down to the various pads, and they are labeled well. You can see there's hangar 1 off to the side. I'm going to see landing pad 2. I'll look back. I'm on landing pad 1. So basically, if you want to go back to your ship, you're not going to be here for long, take note of that. There are these different areas, these little stations. So like if you want to come here and not wear your flight suit, maybe you're meeting somebody for a hot date, you want to put on some clothing from your inventory, you've got a couple of those little stations around. You've got TVs up right now. It's static images. Eventually it's going to be like Port Alizar and other locations where like commercials are kind of rolling like we've seen in ArcCorp area. Platinum Bay over here, I'm not 100% sure what Platinum Bay is. I think I don't go there right away. So I'm going to hold off talking about that as we talk about this portion. This is just kind of a little viewing area. You kind of come over here and there's some windows. You can kind of see outside. You'll notice that there's an asteroid floating right there. You can see ships coming in to land. Not a bad area to just get a view of interesting ships that are coming in or potentially seeing fights off in the distance or really anything. But if you're just waiting around for somebody anyways, there's some cool things to see in this general area. The NPCs here are interesting. They do move around, which is great. They have different poses. Some of their poses, as you will see in a moment, are a little bit unconventional. Like that one. I don't know what to say about that. But based on what I'm seeing there with the Starliner, it says Great Trips. It's called Platinum Bay. I'm guessing this is almost like a travel agency, or maybe where you can actually book transport. So maybe you get dropped off here and you need to go somewhere else. There are shelves that look like you could almost do inventory. There's this thing right here to where you can select your ship, but there's not any like inventory to what you can do. So I'm pretty up on my lore, but I guess I must have missed something with Platinum Bay, or they haven't told us much about that brand yet. Out here, you got your admin office. You also have just various little seating areas. It's got kind of a cool feel at the rest stop. It's not as like, it's kind of a hybrid between like a Grimhex and a Levski and Alazar. You've got your Kovalek shipping kiosk, so you could potentially do like missions and drop them off there. You've got your trading console here, as well as your admin officer that if you need to talk to or take on missions. He doesn't do anything right now. You notice he kind of perks up when you point at him, but he doesn't have any interactives. And that's basically the first floor. There's not a ton there. Get up onto the second floor, you'll notice more of the replace me balls. You got NPCs looking around, some components out there. Again, screens on the wall that I think will be eventually playing things. None of these stores have items in them today. So you come into the Casaba Outlet. This is a clothing store. You would expect to see things, and all you have is empty hangers. You do have this shopping console. Right now it's a shipping console, but that will be changed out to be shopping for your actual personnel. But I think you will be able to deliver things like to your inventory or to your ship at some point. But you can see there's not a lot of interaction you can do in here because there's no items, so it is very much an entry-level version of what you're going to see later on. And then again, you've got more kiosks down here, really tablet-type things. But it's a Casaba. I mean, it's something that we've seen in other places of the verse. It's not all that surprising. We got live fire weapons, so like other places in the verse, this is a place where you can come and pick up rifles, pistols, shotguns, sniper rifles, and if it follows the current theme, you're going to see that there's going to be, and a cubby blast back here, you're going to see that some places are going to sell certain types of weapons, other places are going to sell other types of weapons, so we'll just need to see. It's a little bit odd seeing that person back there behind the counter, it being part of that section of the store, so I don't know if you're always going to have access to that section or not, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and head on back out. And out here you kind of go up another flight and you have two more stores. One is a work in progress. I'm sorry, just one more store. It's a work in progress. This is like a locker area. So none of these are functional today, but it does seem reasonable that you'd be able to come in here and store things short term. And it would be kind of cool to say, I'm going to leave you a rifle in this box. I want you to, or in this locker, I want you to come get it and take it or whatever. And that might make for some interesting gameplay. And then over here, it just says opening soon. I don't know what store this is. You've got some, more just propaganda posters. And I don't know what they're going to put in there. It'll be interesting to see. Maybe it's a mission giver at some point. It's probably going to be a bar or a restaurant or something like that because I haven't found one in this particular rest stop. But again, we're just going to need to see what they end up doing. So that's your tour of the rest stop. It's a pretty cool little area. Come check it out. Stay tuned for more. Have yourselves a great day and take care.